Welcome to Simplifying the State. I am Nicholas Perrin. Adam will not be joining us today because he is on vacation. What a slacker. Anyway, in this episode, we will be looking at some of the other of Trump's cabinet picks and explaining who they are, what they'll be doing, and what these picks may tell about Trump's second term. Starting off with the pick for Energy Secretary, Chris Wright. Chris Wright is the CEO and founder of Liberty Energy, which is a fossil fuel company. As Energy Secretary, he will plan the usage and development of the energy sector of the United States. Being a CEO of an energy company, he will bring experience to the position. Especially to Trump, who has wanted to, quote, drill baby drill, Wright's fossil fuel knowledge will help in this endeavor. However, he has denied climate change many times, and especially in a video posted on LinkedIn over a year ago, saying, quote, we have seen no increase in the frequency or intensity of hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, or floods, despite endless fear-mongering, unquote. This is contrary to all evidence that has been growing over the past many decades. These details point to Wright being a great pick for Trump because of Wright's willingness to bolster the U.S.'s energy output, but the concerned takes on climate change have worried many about the future of U.S. involvement in the developing climate crisis. And here are some students' takes on the matter.
I would be fine with that person in charge as long as they really know what they're doing and will take the necessary steps to make sure our country is safe.
If he doesn't believe in climate change, but yet he's in charge of all fossil fuel, I don't think he'd do a very good job of that.
Next up, Trump has picked Florida Senator Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. Rubio has a very hawkish stance on China, which has been celebrated in Taiwan and South Korea, but will also mean increased tariffs on Chinese products, meaning more expenses paid by the U.S. citizen for said products. This opposing stance on China will also mean a heightening of tensions between the U.S. and China, and in the West Pacific area, with many U.S. allies there. Overall, Trump seems very likely to take a more aggressive stance on China compared to his last term. And here's what some students had to say about tariffs.
I feel like it would be good for the United States, but also pretty selfish because they're trying to get money out of China, so yeah.
I feel like that wouldn't be that good because lots of things that we own come from China. So if we put taxes on those, clothes probably are going to be more expensive. I'm sure there's going to be many other things that become more expensive, like furniture possibly. Lots of important stuff like that.
To help with the implementation of economic changes and new tariffs, Trump has appointed Howard Lutnick to Commerce Secretary and Scott Bessent to Treasury Secretary. Along with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy leading the Department of Government Efficiency, Trump hopes to cut $2 trillion of the national budget by mid-2026. This will be incredibly challenging and will require cutting down on many social programs of the government, like Social Security or Medicare, for even a chance of accomplishing this goal. And here is what some students thought about whether cutting the budget that much is a good idea.
Yes, I think it's a great idea. Always good to save money.
$2 trillion a year is a lot of money. And to stop doing this all by 2026, which is in basically a year-ish, since we're basically coming on 2025 now, I feel like that'd be still a big sudden change. So I'm not sure.
Linda McMahon is chosen for Education Secretary, who is also co-founder of the WWE and has served under Trump's first administration. Trump has expressed a multitude of times that he wishes to dismantle the education department, so McMahon may help accomplish that, alongside Trump's wish to, quote, send education back to the states. Matthew G. Whitaker is proposed to NATO ambassador. However, he does not have any foreign policy experience, but has served as Attorney General for 3 months under Trump's last administration, which could be a reason for Trump's appointment. David Weldon is proposed head of the CDC, a vaccine skeptic, especially about a preservative in many vaccines which he claims are causing autism. Mike Huckabee, avid Zionist, and expressing his wish for Israel to control all of the Holy Lands, is the proposed ambassador to Israel. This is a sign of a very pro-Israel government, likely with hope that Israel will become even more of a base of operations in the Middle East for the United States. Lori Chavez de Remer, current Republican representative from Oregon, was proposed as the Secretary for Labor, with support from large unions such as the Teamsters. A good pick, politically speaking, having amassed support among the working class and having many conservative beliefs, which will allow her and Trump to work closely together. Pete Hegseth, a Fox News host, veteran of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, chosen to be the defense secretary. Elise Stefanik, proposed to be the UN ambassador, an upstate New York House representative and avid Trump supporter, but has little knowledge in terms of foreign policy or national security. The picks in foreign policy positions show a trend that, although not always, usually has them having none or little previous experience with foreign policy. The one exception that we have spoken of is the ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. This could be a sign of a lack of interest in both NATO and the UN to Trump, and a more serious stance and focus on Israel, which could have massive implications for the future of the US in the world. Lastly, RFK Jr. was chosen to be the head of Health and Human Services, a very powerful and influential part of the US government, especially in the health sector. RFK Jr. is a very well-known and outspoken vaccine critic, which makes a very odd pick for such a powerful medical position. He also has no medical or health degree. Martin A. Makary was chosen to be head of the FDA, a surgeon and medical researcher. However, also a decade-long critic of the current medical workings of the United States. He was also against vaccine mandates during the COVID-19 pandemic. All in all, these picks for influential medical positions will lead to a lot of change in the coming 4 years, especially from Makary, which, as said before, has been a very vocal critic against the current medical establishment of the United States and will likely change it much. It is not out of the question to say that the medical establishment of 2028 will be completely unrecognizable to the one of today. And that's all we have. Thank you for listening to Simplifying the State, and we will be back in the next episode.